In a sincere confession, Johnny Depp, known for his high-profile novels, revealed the true love of his life. The Hollywood star admitted that one woman holds a unique and special place in his heart. When they were together, they were one of the most captivating Hollywood couples. Always stylish and raising the bar of romance. Who was she and what happened to their fabulous romance? Let's dive into their history and find out. Johnny and Vanessa's romantic journey began in the summer of 1998, when their paths crossed in France, where Johnny was filming The Ninth Gate. In an interview with the Daily Mail in the 2011 year, he vividly recalled their fateful meeting at the Hotel Cos. He remembered Vanessa in a dress with an open back and neck. When she turned around and he saw her eyes, he realized that his time as a single man was over. However, this was not their first meeting. In 1994, Vanessa was introduced to Johnny and her then-boyfriend Lenny Kravitz. Recalling her first relationship with Johnny, Vanessa describes it as magnetic. Despite the fact that they lived in two different worlds, Johnny is a big star in America and Vanessa in France. Their real bond was formed when they spent time together in Paris. She immediately felt freedom and connection with him, realizing that there was no time to waste. After all, time waits for neither men nor women, especially when love is in the air. Less than a year after a romantic relationship in Paris, Johnny and Vanessa had their first child, daughter Lily Rose Melody. Born on the 27th of May, 1999 year. The appearance of Lily Rose, according to Johnny Depp, changed him a lot. He often talked about how proud he was of her, describing her as the smartest kid he had ever met. Johnny wanted her to know that he would always be there for her, ready to give advice when she needed it. In the end, children grow up and make their own decisions. And the best thing parents can do is support them. Johnny found great pleasure in watching his girl transform from a baby into the young woman she was becoming. Then, on the 9th of April, 2002, their second child was born, John Christopher Jack Depp. This addition further strengthened Johnny and Vanessa's relationship. According to Johnny, it is impossible to plan a deep love that leads to the appearance of children. Fatherhood was not a conscious decision. It was part of a wonderful journey I was on. It was fate. All the mathematical calculations worked out in the end. Over the years of living with Vanessa, Johnny's career has undergone significant changes. He went from bizarre roles in art house films to the iconic image of Captain Jack Sparrow in the Disney franchise Pirates of the Caribbean, reaching new heights of fame and fortune. After the debut of The Curse of the Black Pearl, the couple lived luxuriously in their mansion in the Hollywood Hills. In two houses in France, on a yacht, and on Johnny's private island in the Caribbean, Little Halls Pond Cay. Johnny and Vanessa were together for 14 years before their breakup in 2012. Despite a long relationship and the creation of a family, the couple never got married. This naturally attracted a lot of attention to them, and fans often asked when Johnny would ask a question. But it never happened. Vanessa did not object, explaining that it was a mutual decision to remain unmarried. According to her, he has me, and he knows that he has me. I love romance, let's get married. But when you have everything so perfect, I mean, I'm married more than anyone can be. We have 2 children. Maybe someday. But it's something I can really do without. Johnny seemed to be enjoying life with Vanessa and their children. Everything seemed to be going like clockwork. He has a wonderful partner, 2 wonderful children, and a burgeoning career. But by June of the year 2012, the pleasure of their relationship had dried up. Their joint absence from public events raised questions from fans. As a result, Johnny's publicist told Entertainment Night that they parted amicably, asking to leave the family alone. The breakup came as a shock to the entertainment industry. Everything was perfect, everything was going smoothly. So what happened? And here's the most interesting part. Ever since Johnny's libel trial against Amber Heard began to go public, many who followed the case, like you and me, have wondered why he and Vanessa broke up, especially considering how quickly he started dating Amber Heard. A few years ago, in an interview, Depp revealed the reason for their breakup. He spoke about his relationship, noting that at times they were difficult. According to him, at times, of course, it's unpleasant, but that's the nature of breakups. I think, especially when children are involved in them. It's understandable, relationships are complicated. Especially for a man like Johnny, who often left for filming. It wasn't easy for Vanessa to take care of the kids without Johnny around. It wasn't easy for Johnny either. And it certainly wasn't easy for the children. If you look at the trajectory of their relationship, you can see the tension. According to Depp, one thing led to another, but it didn't change the fact that he still cares about Vanessa. That she is the mother of his children and that they will always be in each other's lives because they have children. Johnny admitted that he used drugs and alcohol to cope with the situation, but after parting with Vanessa, he gave up this occupation. He didn't want to rely on drugs to alleviate the pain, especially given the special place Vanessa held in his heart. He didn't want his children to suffer or his career to collapse because of his actions. Vanessa has never directly commented on the reason for their breakup, but she suggested that she was unhappy in a relationship for a while. According to her, sometimes you can be in an unhappy relationship. You love someone very much, but it makes you unhappy. And you think that everything can change, and you can fix everything. Years later, new details emerged about the breakup of Vanessa Paradis and Johnny Depp during the trial of Amber Heard Depp on charges of defamation. These revelations may provide clues as to why Depp and Parade really broke up. Depp and Heard first met in the year 2009 while working on the film Rum Diary. But they began to be publicly connected only in the 2012 year after Depp's break with the Parade. There seems to be a pattern here, Johnny. Anyway, during the libel trial, Depp said that he had feelings for Heard. After filming a steam shower scene for their movie 2011 year. Johnny explained that when he kissed Heard, he felt something he shouldn't have felt, since both were involved with other partners at the time. It all started with a kiss and continued with kisses. But, as you understand, it wasn't the only kiss they shared during his relationship with Parade. There was another incident in Depp's dressing room. Depp said that he and Heard had a glass of wine, and one by one, they kissed again, and this time everything was not according to the script. Although Amber wanted more, Johnny had the willpower to restrain himself, and he asked her to leave, admitting that it was wrong. As they say, the rest is history. A few years later, Vanessa and Depp broke up, and Amber and Depp resumed their romance. It is not known whether Johnny talked about the kiss on the radio. But knowing this fact certainly explains why she became unhappy at a certain point in her relationship with Depp, and why they eventually broke up. In 2015, Johnny married Amber Heard in a private ceremony on the island. But their marriage lasted only 15 months. In her divorce statement, Amber referred to irreconcilable differences. And a few weeks later, she filed a temporary restraining order against Depp in connection with allegations of domestic violence. In response, the Depp decided to sue Heard for libel. Because of an article she wrote in the 2018 year for The Washington Post. Initially, he filed a lawsuit for $50 million in 2019, but because of the pandemic. The case was postponed until April 11, 2022, when the jury was selected. Heard filed a counterclaim for defamation, seeking damages in the amount of $100 million, claiming that Depp presented her accusation as a hoax. Their relationship quickly turned from former lovers into fierce legal opponents. Johnny sought to achieve the truth and clear his name, as he wanted to refute the idea that appeared in the media about him as a womanizer. Although most of the evidence in the libel case had already been made public in 2000, Amber Heard's accusations of sexual assault and other forms of domestic violence were not widely known before the trial began. Heard claimed to have been subjected to various forms of violence by Depp: physical, emotional, verbal, and psychological. Depp's legal team, however, called the allegations fictional. Johnny recalled his own childhood experience of violence when he and his older sister Christy Dombrowski were abused by their mother Betty Sue Palmer. He remembered how his father John remained stoic and never took revenge, despite the bullying. These memories influenced Depp's decision to stay with Heard, despite the alleged abuse of him. In court, he explained that he wanted to establish a relationship, believing that he could help Heard, and return to her that sweet and caring girl with whom he initially fell in love. One particularly infamous quarrel between Depp and Heard occurred in Australia during the filming of Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales in March of the 2015 year. As a result of this quarrel, Depp cut off the tip of the middle finger of his right hand, which, according to him, happened after Amber threw a bottle into his hand, which was lying on the bar. Heard's legal team denies this version of events. Depp's legal team has submitted graphic photos of his injured finger. When the doctors at the hospital asked what happened, Johnny lied, saying that the finger hit the accordion door. so as not to mention Amber's name in this situation. During the trial, Heard was forced to admit that she had behaved aggressively towards Depp. Johnny's legal team showed audio recordings of Amber admitting to striking, although she insisted that she had hit him, not hit him. Amber's younger sister, Whitney Enrique, testified that Johnny stabbed her in the back on the stairs in March of 2015, and Amber stood up for her. Whitney told how Johnny pulled Amber's hair and punched her in the face several times until one of Depp's bodyguards intervened. Against the background of the trial and Depp's accusations of beating women, Vanessa was invited and asked to testify. She described Johnny as a kind, considerate, generous, and nonviolent person and father. Vanessa admitted that she did not know the details of what happened between Johnny and Amber, but expressed doubt that Johnny, whom she had known all these years, could be cruel and bullying. "It's very sad." Amber reinforced the accusation, saying that she recalled the incident when Depp allegedly pushed his ex-girlfriend Kate Moss down the stairs. This brought Kate Moss to trial. However, the British model sided with her longtime ex. Kate testified that she fell down the stairs because she slipped and hurt her back. She remembered screaming, and Johnny came to her rescue. She claimed that no one pushed her down the stairs. After that, the trial continued, but it became quite messy. However, Johnny won the case because the jury decided that Amber's article, in which she called herself a victim of domestic violence, was defamatory, although she did not mention Johnny's name. A year later, Amber was forced to pay Johnny $1 million under a settlement agreement that officially closed the case. Meanwhile, Vanessa moved on and married director Samuel Benchy Treat, which became her first marriage. She invited Johnny and their children Lily Rose and Jack to the wedding. However, the children, especially Lily Rose, decided not to attend Amber's father's wedding because they didn't like Amber. Lily Rose was only 13 years old when her parents separated. But despite her young age at the time of their breakup, her teenage years were calm and carefree. She noted that Johnny and Vanessa were not very strict parents. They had always trusted her to be independent and make her own decisions, and she had nothing to rebel against. Johnny Depp is a talented, but somewhat mysterious Hollywood actor, always known for his charm in communicating with ladies. Even at 60, he still attracts a lot of attention, especially in the entertainment industry. But in his personal life, not everything is smooth. Depp has gone through several failed marriages and casual relationships, having experienced all the ups and downs that are associated with it. His first notable love was Lori Ann Allison, whom he met when he moved to Los Angeles. Lori, a makeup artist and sister of one of Depp's band members, played a big role in his career. She introduced him to her friend Nicolas Cage, who then put him in touch with an agent, who helped Depp get a role in A Nightmare on Elm Street. When Johnny Depp was only 20 years old, he married Laura Ann Allison. However, their marriage did not last long, and they divorced just 2 years later. Despite this, they remained on good terms. During the lawsuit, Depp Amber Heard Lori showed her support by sharing a photo taken by Depp with the hashtag #ISupportJohnnyDepp. The next one was Sherilyn Feng. In 1985, the same year that Johnny Depp and Lori Ann Allison broke up, Depp met Twin Peaks actress Sherilyn Feng on the set of Models. They dated for 3 years, during which Feng appeared in Depp's popular show Jump Street 21st. Recalling their relationship, Feng shared with Dobbigin in the 2017 year. "He was very nice. He was my first love." She recalled how sincerely they communicated, despite the fact that they went different ways. Feng described their life together as filled with laughter, tears, and meaningful moments, emphasizing that she knew Depp as a person, and not just as a movie star. Feng also supported Depp during his litigation with Amber Heard, expressing confidence that he is not capable of the things that are said about him. After Feng came Jennifer Grey, whom Johnny met through her agent in 1989. Grey later revealed in her memoirs that Johnny Depp proposed to her within 2 weeks of dating. And she agreed because he was surprisingly open, funny, quirky, and sweet on their first date. However, their relationship was short-lived, and Grey attributes their end to Depp's jealousy. According to Grey, after 9 months of living together, she ended her relationship with Depp, leaving him a note in a hotel room. Then there was Winona Ryder. Talking about his first meeting with Winona Ryder in 1989, Johnny Depp described it as a special moment, when they exchanged a meaningful look, similar to scenes in the movie West Side Story. He immediately felt a strong chemistry with her, although they started dating only a few months later. After 5 months of dating, Depp and Ryder got engaged, and Depp even got a tattoo on his arm with her name on it. They starred together in the film Edward Scissorhands in 1990. However, their relationship ended 3 years later, in 1993. Winona Ryder later admitted that their breakup was her first real heartbreak, despite the fact that others believed that she had everything. During Johnny Depp's lawsuit, Amber Heard Winona Ryder supported him, saying that he was never violent. She described him as caring and protective of his loved ones. Winona was followed by Helen Barkin. Rumors that Johnny Depp and Helen Barkin are together appeared in 1994, although it is unknown when they began to officially meet. Their relationship was short and problematic. In 2019, Barkin first spoke about their relationship during the trial of Depp against Heard in 2022. Barkin mentioned in legal documents that although Depp initially seemed loving, there was always a sense of violence around him. A lot of arguments and shouting. She also claimed that Depp became controlling, jealous, and often got drunk during their life together. Depp rejected Barkin's accusations, suggesting that she harbored a grudge against him. Soon after, Johnny met British model Kate Moss. Johnny Depp met Kate Moss at the beginning of 1994. He was introduced by a writer at the Tobacco Cafe in New York. Despite the age difference, they quickly started dating. However, there were problems behind the scenes of their relationship. In September of the same year, Depp and Moss were repeatedly seen quarreling in public, which led to Depp's arrest. Despite this, they continued to meet for several more years, and in 1997 they broke up. Recalling their relationship, Depp admitted that he was to blame for their breakup because he did not pay enough attention to the bridge, and it was difficult to live with him. Years later, as we have seen, Moss defended Depp in court when Amber Heard accused him of pushing her down the stairs during their relationship. After the bridge came Vanessa Paradis, and then Amber Heard, who single-handedly made Depp's life even more difficult than it already was. If there was one other person on this list besides Vanessa who loved Johnny very much, it would be Winona Ryder. Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder first met in 1989 at the premiere of the movie Fireballs. They didn't see each other for very long that day, but it was enough for a spark to slip between them. At that time, Winona was a teenage starlet, and Johnny was already a rising TV idol. Both of them believed that it was love at first sight. Johnny described this moment as classic, like a scene from West Side Story, when everything else is clouded. In other words, a 26-year-old actor was instantly charmed by a 17-year-old teenager. They met a couple of months later when they were introduced by a mutual friend. Depp Winona has been dating Christian Slater for only a few months and has never been in a serious relationship. One day she shared that Johnny was everything to her. The first real kiss, boyfriend, fiancé, and the first guy she had intimacy with. Johnny, on the other hand, had already been married once and engaged twice. It didn't bother Winona because she felt that they had a connection on a deeper level. She thought they were constantly interested in each other because they had so much in common. Johnny and Winona's relationship quickly became intense. They were inseparable. They starred together in the film Edward Scissorhands, listened to their favorite songs together, and read beat poems to each other. Johnny even tattooed Winona forever on his arm, which greatly impressed Winona's strict parents. They adored Johnny and approved of their daughter's choice, often bringing them breakfast in bed when the couple stayed over. In the early 90s, Johnny and Winona were the most talked about couple in Hollywood. However, their whirlwind romance also ran into difficulties. After 5 months of dating, they got engaged and moved in together, planning to get married. They even tried to invite their friend Hairspray director John Waters to marry them. However, Waters dissuaded them, considering that Winona was too young and her parents were grateful to him for his intervention. Their busy schedules have added tension to their relationship. Johnny was making a movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and he solved problems related to alcohol and drugs. He later admitted that it was a dark time for him and he poisoned himself into unconsciousness. Winona was busy too. She played a young bride in Martin Scorsese's The Age of Innocence. In 1993, after 4 years of marriage, Winona and Johnny decided to break up. The representative of Winona explained the gap with the carelessness of young love and stardom. Johnny later said that it was difficult to arrange a personal life in Hollywood, and excessive openness in their relationship only fueled public curiosity and did not extinguish it. Despite the breakup, Winona said that Johnny will always hold a special place in her heart, describing him as a person who will always be there. The breakup was traumatic for both of them. Winona became depressed, started sleeping poorly, and experimenting with drugs. Years later, she admitted that it was the darkest time in her life. Johnny was broken by the breakup, as Tim Burton said, saying that Johnny came to work in tears and was no longer himself. Johnny continued other relationships, including a 4-year affair with Kate Moss and a 14-year relationship with Vanessa Paradis, during which he was rumored to have started dating Amber Heard. This new relationship reportedly upset Winona, who didn't like that Johnny left a long-term partner for someone younger. However, Winona later defended Johnny from Amber Heard's accusations of domestic violence, expressing shock and confusion about these accusations. After Johnny, Winona had relationships with Dave Pirner and Matt Damon, but she never got married. She once called herself a serial monogamist and preferred not to get married than to get divorced several times. In the 2016 year, Winona said that since the 2011 year, she has been dating fashion designer Scott McKinley-Kahn. In 2019, there were rumors that Johnny and Winona were communicating again, exchanging texts and calls. Winana's friends advised her to stay away, believing that she did not need a man like Johnny in her life. Despite the tumultuous relationship, the carelessness of young love and the pressure of stardom played a significant role in their separation, making it too hard for their youth. It can be said that Johnny Depp had a habit of getting engaged to almost every woman he met in Hollywood. But everything changed when he met Vanessa Paradis. When they were together, they were one of the most charming Hollywood couples. Always stylish, often vacationing in France, and setting a high bar for romance. At one point, they were inseparable, creating a life that many envied. They divided their time between the USA and France, raising their 2 children Lily Rose and Jack in a world full of love, creativity, and adventure. Their relationship turned out to be perfect, combining Hollywood glamour and French charm. But over the years, cracks began to appear in their relationship. Despite their strong bond, the pressure of fame and career began to take its toll. They tried to establish a relationship, but after 14 years of living together, they decided to break up. The story of their love is both exciting and bittersweet. The reasons for their breakup remain somewhat mysterious, and Johnny and Vanessa do not disclose details. Their breakup marked the end of an era, but their love story still remains one of the most memorable in Hollywood. Did you like this video? If yes, then watch the other videos on the screen. See if you are interested in any of them. Thanks for watching.